Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, the floodgates open on tension and confusion. Egypt calls for clarification from Ethiopia over claims that Addis has already started filling the controversial Grand Renaissance Dam against the wishes of Cairo and Khartoum. Also, legends of the Ivorian music genre of Zouglou kick up a storm with their latest album. Ivorian Siro's heritage takes a pop at President Alassane Ouattara during a tense election year. And Congolese activists try to encourage men to do more in the home and re-examine limiting traditional gender roles and consider the differences between positive and negative forms of masculinity. But first, Ethiopia has said that the controversial Grand Renaissance Dam is filling, despite tense talks over its future with Sudan and Egypt having stalled this week. All of the countries rely on the river's waters, and Egypt's particularly worried that its share may be restricted. It's not clear whether the rising water levels are solely due to seasonal rains. On Wednesday, Ethiopia denied accounts that the water minister had publicly stated that the reservoir was being deliberately filled. The prospect led Cairo to ask for clarification. The water minister said that regardless of whether a deal is struck or not, the dam will be filled.
በዘንድሮ ዓመት የግድቡ ሌቭል ከ525 ወደ 560 አምጥተነዋል። አምና ታስታውሱ እንደሆን ክረምት ሲመጣ በ525 ላይ በስር ያለው ማስወጫ ስለማይበቃ በ525 ላይ ያልፋል። ዘንድሮ ደግሞ ላይ ድረስ ይሞላና በ560 ላይ ያልፋል። ልዩ የሚያደርገው ወደ ከ560 አይወርድም። አንድ 560 ከደረሰ በኋላ አይወርድም። ስለዚህ ግድቡ ከኮንስትራክሽን ሂደቱ ጋር የተነጣጠለ አይደለም።
Well, look now at some other news in brief. Tunisia's prime minister has resigned less than 5 months after his hard-fought government was formed. Elias Fakh's exit will slow down efforts to tackle an economic crisis that's been exacerbated by the coronavirus pandemic. President Kais Saied will now have to choose a new premier. But gaining consensus in parliament is going to be tough, as it's deeply fragmented between rival parties. Fakh was reportedly asked to step down over an alleged conflict of interest by his owning of shares in companies that receive government contracts. He denies having done anything wrong. The African Court on Human and People's Rights has ordered Tanzania to remove the part of its constitution that prevents legal investigation of the election of a president once a winner is named. It comes after Kenya and Malawi recently overturned the suspect results of presidential elections and forced reruns. African pro-democracy campaigners see these challenges as part of an encouraging trend of transparency and accountability on the continent. A bust of a well-known white supremacist has been decapitated in Cape Town. The head of the statue of Cecil Rhodes on the slopes of Table Mountain was removed earlier this week. He's today seen as one of the most notoriously racist and ruthless imperialist figures in South Africa. Well, 6 senior medics at the Faculty of Health Sciences at Witwatersrand University are amongst those volunteering in the continent's first COVID-19 vaccine trials. The research began at the end of last month at the South African institution, in cooperation with the UK's Oxford University. The trials sparked concern and criticism amongst the public. Participants from the Johannesburg faculty say that they hope that their involvement will be reassuring.
These are unprecedented times. Coronavirus is going to affect everybody in the world. We need a vaccine, and the more people get involved in finding a suitable vaccine, the better. It's very appropriate that healthcare professionals and people who are involved in the research of this environment, if they can, also get involved.
Have the benefit if the vaccine works, and if I get the vaccine shot instead of the placebo, I'll be protected. So there's a number of reasons, but mostly to demonstrate that this is something that should be supported and encouraged, and that no one need be afraid of it. There has been some concern, among the lay public, but as a doctor, I'll tell you, this is nothing to be afraid of.
Well, the latest songs of some of the top icons of the Ivorian music genre of Zouglou have proved to be controversial. Yode and Siro's latest album release calls out President Alassane Ouattara in a particularly tense election year. Our correspondents report.
Romy Vontron, Maman Bibi la Baronne.
Yode and Siro are back with their new album, Heritage. The duo have returned to their Zouglou roots, releasing an urban Ivorian sound that has caused a sensation on the streets of Abidjan.
J'adore. Au fait, les textes sont profonds. Il ne faut pas prendre seulement le côté négatif. Ils interpellent tout un chacun.
Voilà, et chacun est concerné dans les paroles. C'est pour ça qu'il y a beaucoup de polémiques dessus.
One track in particular has caught the public's attention. President, what are you saying? Social inequality, political prisoners, ethnic discrimination. The song is an eviscerating critique of Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara. It has even attracted attention and criticism from the government itself. The artists have denied being partisan.
Sauf s'ils ont la mémoire courte. Nous avons critiqué tous les régimes. Voilà. Et c'est comme ça, à chaque fois qu'on critique un régime, les partisans de ce régime se mettent à jaser, mais ils vont finir par se calmer.
Zouglou music emerged in the 90s, born out of student counterculture. Like reggae, it is an inherently political genre.
La polémique n'a pas lieu d'être. C'est l'ADN, l'essence même du Zouglou. Dans l'ensemble, le Zouglou a toujours eu un titre. Et chaque année, et tous les groupes Zouglou ont toujours un titre qui pique là où ça fait mal.
Whether the criticisms mounted by Yode and Siro are justified or not, many Ivorians believe that it's important that artists have the right to speak out.
A group of Congolese activists are trying to reshape the country's perspectives on traditional gender roles. A new campaign has been highlighting the damage done by limiting ideas about what is women's work and what is or is not masculine. Our team reports.
For Lumia, it's a special moment with his little girl.
Et hop! Ah! Tu vois, elle va tomber!
This kind of playful father-daughter bonding isn't common in the DRC. Unlike many Congolese men, Lumière thinks it's not just up to women to take care of children.
C'est tout à fait normal. Si l'homme peut faire le bébé, pourquoi pas changer les couches du bébé?
Lumière and his wife Cynthia share all the household chores, from cleaning and buying groceries to cooking.
Bravo, bravo.
But other people's reactions aren't always easy to deal with.
On nous dit, vous êtes des homosexuels, vous voulez que les hommes deviennent des minimes. Donc, en quelque sorte, on est en train d'insinuer que les femmes sont des minimes, sont des petits, sont des riens. Et cette conception-là, malheureusement, elle est dans beaucoup d'hommes.
A bloggers collective called Habari is trying to change traditional perceptions about gender roles. A new campaign called Vrai Mobali, or Real Man in Lingala, is aimed at raising awareness about sexism. The drive shares information on social networks and in face-to-face weekly workshops. So far, most men have eventually become receptive to change, but many first struggle to challenge their views.
Est-ce que vous avez, dans votre message, dans votre contenu, tenu compte du fait qu'il faudrait essayer d'encadrer la femme, que la femme ne prenne pas le fait de l'homme d'être vrai mobile pour un acquis et rester dans sa zone de confort et puis ne plus rien faire?
Organisers are trying to deconstruct stereotypes about manhood and develop an understanding of positive masculinity.
Notre culture congolaise nous a incarné certains comportements qui ne sont pas vraiment des bons comportements. On ne perd pas notre masculinité en aidant la femme. On ne perd pas notre masculinité en promouvant la femme.
Habari wants these values taught from an early age and has asked the Ministry of Education to include gender equality in the school curriculum.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa. Thanks for joining us. Do so again if you can. Take care.